June 21st, the three-quarter moon. Today a man called from Long Beach. He left a long message on the answering machine, mumbling and shouting, talking fast and slow, swearing and threatening to call the police to have you arrested. Today is the longest day of the year, but anymore, every day is. The weather today is an increasing concern followed by full-blown dread. The man calling from Long Beach, he says his bathroom is missing. June 22nd. By the time you read this, you'll be older than you remember. The official name for your liver spots is hyperpigmented lentigines. The official anatomy word for a wrinkle is rhytide. These creases on the top half of your face, the rhytides plowed across your forehead and around your eyes. This is dynamic wrinkling, also called hyperfunctional facial lines, caused by the movement of underlying muscles. Most wrinkles in the lower half of the face are stagitides caused by sun and gravity. Let's look in the mirror. Really look at your face. Look at your eyes, your mouth. This is what you think you know best. Your skin comes in 3 basic layers. What you touch is the stratum corneum, a layer of flat dead skin cells pushed up by the new cells under them. What you feel, that greasy feeling, is your acid mantle, the coating of oil and sweat that protects you from germs and fungus. Under that is your dermis. Below the dermis is a layer of fat. Below the layer of fat are muscles of your face. Maybe you remember all this from art school, from Figure Anatomy 201, then maybe not. When you pull up your upper lip, when you show me that one top tooth, the one museum guard broke, this is your levator labii superioris muscle at work, your sneer muscle. Let's pretend you smell some old stale urine. Let's imagine your husband killed himself in your family car. Imagine you have to go out and sponge his piss out of the driver's seat. Pretend you still have to drive a stinking, rusted junk pile to work, with everyone watching, everyone knowing, because it's the only car you have. Does any of this ring a bell? When a normal person, some normal, innocent person who sure as hell deserved a lot better, when she comes home from waiting tables all day and finds her husband suffocated in the family car, his bladder leaking, and she screams, this is simply her orbicularis or is stretched to the very limit. That deep crease from each corner of your mouth to your nose is your nasolabial fold, sometimes called your sneer pocket. As you age, the little round cushion of fat inside your cheek, the official anatomy word is malar fat pad. It slides lower and lower until it comes to rest near your nasolabial fold, making your face a permanent sneer. This is just a refresher course, a little step by step. Just a little brushing up, in case you don't recognize yourself. Now frown. This is your triangularis muscle pulling down the corners of your orbicularis muscle. Pretend you're a 12-year-old girl who loved her father like crazy. You're a little preteen girl who needs her dad more than ever before. You counted on her father always to be there. Imagine you go to bed crying every night, her eyes clamped shut so hard they swell. The orange peel texture of your chin, those popply bumps, are caused by your mentalis muscle, your pouting muscle. Those frown lines you see every morning getting deeper, running from each corner of your mouth down to the edge of your chin, are called marionette lines. The wrinkles between your eyebrows, the glabular furrows. The way your swollen eyelids sag down is called ptosis. Your lateral canthal rhytides, your crow's feet are worse every day, and you're only 12 fucking years old, for God's sake. Don't pretend you don't know what this is about. This is about your face. Now smile, if you still can. This is your zygomatic major muscle. Each contraction pulls your flesh apart the way tiebacks hold open the drapes as in your living room window, the way cables pull aside a theater curtain. Every smile is opening night. In premiere, you are unveiling yourself. Now smile the way an elderly mother would when her only son kills himself. Smile and pat the hand of his wife and his preteen daughter and tell them not to worry. Everything will really work out for the best. Just keep smiling and pin up your long gray hair. Go play bridge with your old lady friends. Powder your nose. That huge horrible wad of fat you see hanging over your chin, your jowls getting bigger and jigglier every day. That's the mental fat. That crinkly ring of wrinkles around your neck is a baptismal band. The whole slow slide of your face, your chin, and your neck is caused by gravity dragging down your superficial muscular hyponeurotic system. Sound familiar? If you're a little confused right now, relax, don't worry. All you need to know is that this is your face. This is what you think you know best. There are 3 layers of skin. There are 3 women in your life. The epidermis, the dermis, and the fat. Your wife, your daughter, and your mother. If you're reading this, welcome back to reality. This is where all that glorious, unlimited potential of your youth has led. All that unfulfilled promise. Here's what you've done with your life. Your name is Peter Wilmot. All you need to understand is you turned out to be one sorry sack of shit. June 23rd. A woman calls from Seaview to say her linen closet is missing. Last September, her house had 6 bedrooms, 2 linen closets. She's so sure of it. Now she's only got 1. She comes to open her beach house for the summer. She drives out from the city with kids and the nanny and the dog, and here they are with all their luggage. Their towels are gone, disappeared. Bermuda triangulated. Her voice on the answering machine, the way her voice screeches up high until it's an air raid siren by the end of every sentence. You can tell she's shaking mad, but mostly she's scared. She says, "Is this some kind of joke? Please tell me somebody paid you to do this." The voice on the machine, "Please, I won't call the police. Just put it back the way it was, okay?" Behind her voice, faint in the background, you can hear her voice saying, "Mom?" The woman away from the phone says, "Everything's going to be fine." She says, "Now let's not panic." The weather today is an increasing trend toward denial. Her voice on the answering machine, she says, "Just call me back, okay?" She leaves her phone number. She says, "Please." June 25th. Picture the way a little kid would draw a fishbone. The skeleton of a fish with the skull at one end of and the tail at the other. The long spine in between is crossed with rib bones. The kind of fish skeleton you'd see in the mouth of a cartoon cat. Picture this fish as an island covered with houses. Picture the kind of castle houses that a little girl living in a trailer park would draw. Big stone houses, each with a forest of 7 chimneys, each with a mountain range of different roof lines, wings and towers and gables, and all of them going up to a lightning rod at the top. Slate roofs, fancy wrought iron fences, fantasy houses, lumpy with bay windows and dormers. All around them, perfect pine trees, rose gardens, and red brick sidewalks. Bourgeoisie daydreams of some poor white trash kid. The whole island was exactly what a kid growing up in some trailer park Like, say, some dump like Tecumseh Lake, Georgia, to dream about. This kid would turn out all the lights on the trailer while her mom was at work. She'd lie down flat on her back on the matted down orange shag carpet in the living room. Carpet smelling like somebody stepped in a dog pile. Orange melted black spots from cigarette burns. The ceiling was water-stained. She'd fold her arms across her chest, and she would picture a life in this kind of place. It would be that time late at night when your ears reach out for any sound, when you see more with your eyes and close than open. The fish skeleton. From the first time she held a crayon, that's what she'd draw. The whole time this kid's growing up, maybe her mom was never home. She never knew her dad. Maybe her mom worked 2 jobs, one at a shitty fiberglass insulation factory, one slopping food in a hospital cafeteria. Of course, this kid dreams of a place like this island where nobody works except to keep house and pick wild blueberries and beach cones, embroider handkerchiefs, arrange flowers. Every day doesn't start with an alarm clock and end with the television. She imagined these houses, every room, this carved edge of each fireplace mantel, the pattern in every parquet floor. Imagined it on thin air, the curve of each light fixture and pour faucet, every tile she could picture. Imagine it, late at night, every wallpaper pattern, every shingle and stairway and downspout. She's drawn it with pastels, colored it with crayons. Every brick sidewalk and boxwood hedge, she sketched it, filled in the red and green with watercolors. She's seen it, pictured it, dreamed of it. She's wanted it so bad. Since as early as she could pick up a pencil, this is all she ever drew. Picture this fish with the skull pointed north and the tail south. Spine is crossed with 16 rib bones running east and west. The skull is the village square, with a ferry boat coming and going from the harbor. That's the fish's mouth. The fish's eye would be the hotel around it. And around it, the grocery store, the hardware supply, the library, and the church. She painted the streets with ice and the bare trees. She painted it with birds coming back, each gathering beach grass and pine needles to build a nest. Then with foxgloves in bloom, taller than people. Then with even taller sunflowers. Then with leaves spiraling down and the ground under them lumpy with walnuts and chestnuts. She could see it so clear. She could picture every room inside every house. The more she could imagine this island, the less she liked the real world. The more she could imagine the people, the less she liked any real people, especially not her own hippie mom, always tired and smelling French fries and cigarette smoke. It got it until Misty Kleinman gave up on ever being a happy person. Everything was ugly, everyone was crass and just wrong. Her name was Misty Kleinman. In case she's not around when you read this, she was your wife. In case you're not just plain dumb, her poor wife. She was born Misty Marie Kleinman. Poor idiot girl, when she was drawing a bonfire on the beach, she could taste ears of corn and boiled crabs. Drawing the herb garden of one house, she could smell the rosemary and thyme. Still, the better she could draw, the worse her life got, until nothing in her real world was good enough. It got until she didn't belong anywhere. It got so nobody was good enough, refined enough, real enough. Not the boys in high school, not the other girls. Nothing was as real as her imagined world. This got until she was going to student counseling and stealing money from her mom's purse to spend on dope. So people couldn't say she was crazy. It just made her life about the art instead of the visions. Really, she just wanted the skill to record them, to make her imagined world more and more accurate, more real. And in art school, she met a boy named Peter Wilmot. She met you, a boy from a place called We Can't See Island. And the first time you see the island coming from any place in the entire world, you think you're dead. Dead and gone to heaven, safe forever. The fish's spine is Division Avenue. The fish's ribs are streets, starting with Alder, 1 block south of the village square. Next is Birch Street, Cedar Street, Dogwood, Elm, Fir, Gum, Hornbeam, all of them alphabetical until Oak and Poplar Streets, just before the fish's tail. There, the south end of Division Avenue comes to gravel, then mud, and then disappearing into the trees of Wait-and-See Point. This isn't a bad description. That's how the harbor looks when you arrive for the first time on a ferry boat from mainland. Narrow and long, the harbor looks like the mouth of a fish waiting to gobble you up in a story from the Bible. You can walk along the length of Division Avenue if you've got all day, have breakfast at the Wait-and-See Hotel, and then walk a block south, past the church on Alder Street, past the Wilmot House, the only house on East Birch, with 16 acres of lawn going straight down to the water, past the Burton House on East Juniper Street. The woodlot's dense with the oaks, each tree twisted and tall as a moss-covered lightning bolt. The sky above Division Avenue. In summer, it's green with dense, shifting layers of maple and oak and elm trees. You come here for the first time and you think all your hopes and dreams have come true. Your life will end happily ever after. The point is, for a kid who's only ever lived in a house with wheels under it, this looks like the special safe place where she'll live, loved and cared for forever. For a kid who used to sit on shag carpet with a box of colored pencils or crayons and draw pictures of these houses she'd never seen, just pictures of the way she imagined them with their little porches and stained glass windows. For this little girl to one day see these houses for real, these exact houses she thought she'd only ever imagined. Since the first time she could draw, little Mystery Marie knew the wet secrets of the septic tanks behind each house. She knew the wiring inside their walls was old, cloth wrapped for insulation, and strung through enough china tubes along china posts. She could draw the inside of every front door, where every island family marked the names and heights of each child. Even from the mainland, the ferry dock and London Beach, across 3 miles of salt water, island looks like paradise. The pines so dark green they look black, the waves breaking against brown rocks. It's like everything she could ever want, protected, quiet and alone. Nowadays, this is how the island looks to a lot of people, a lot of rich strangers. For this kid who'd never swum in anything bigger than the trailer park pool, blinded by too much chlorine, for her to ride the ferry into Wait-and-See Harbor with the birds singing, the sun bouncing light off rows and rows of the hotel windows, for her to hear the ocean rolling in through the side of the breakwater, and feel the sun so warm and the clean wind in her hair, smelling roses in full bloom, the thyme and rosemary. This pathetic teenager who'd never seen the ocean, she'd already painted the headlines and the cliffs that hung high above the rocks, and she got them perfect. Poor little Miss Marie Kleinman. This girl came here as a bride. The whole island came out to greet her. 40, 50 families, all of them smiling, waiting their turn to shake her hand. The choir of grade school kids sang. They threw rice, and there was a big dinner in her honor at the hotel, and everyone toasted her with champagne. From the hillside above Merchant Streets, The windows of Wait and See Hotel, all 6 stories of them, rows of windows and glassed-in porches, the zigzag lines of dormers and the steep roof, were all watching her arrive. Everyone was watching her come to live in one of the big houses on the shady, tree-lined belly of the fish. Just one look at Wait and See Island, and Misty Kleiman figured it was worth kissing off her blue-collar mom. The dog piles in the shag carpet. She swore never to set foot in the old trailer park. She put her dreams for being a painter, her plans for being a painter, on hold. The point is, when you're a kid, even when you're a little older, maybe 20 and enrolled in art school, you don't know anything about the real world. You want to believe somebody when he says he loves you. He only wants to marry you and take you to live in some perfect island paradise. A big stone house on East Birch Street. He says he only wants to make you happy. You know, honestly, he didn't ever torture you to death. And poor Misty Kleiman, she told herself, it wasn't a career as an artist she wanted. What she really wanted all along was a house, the family, the peace. Then she came to Wait and See Island, where everything was so right, and it turned out she was so wrong.